And he said, "Fight on," by Emily Pauline Johnson. Time and its alley, darkest armament, have compassed me about, have massed their armies, and on battle bent my forces put a road. But fought I fight alone, and fall and die, take terms of peace? Not I. They war upon my fortress, and their guns are shattering its wards. My army plays the coward's part, and runs pierced by 1,000 boards. They call for my surrender. I reply, "Give quarter, no, not I." They've shot my flag to ribbons, but in rents it floats above a height, and signs from the crown of battlements while I can stand and fight. I fling defiance as them as I cry, "Capitulate, not I." At Husking Time, by Emily Pauline Johnson. At husking time, the tassel fades to brown above the yellow blades, whose rustling sheaf and swords for corn, but bursts at trillies and scorn, longer to lie in prison shades. Among the merry lads and maids, the creaking ox cart slowly waits, twixt stalks and stubble, sacked and torn at husking time. The prying pilot crow persuades the flock to join in thieving raids, or sly raccoon at craft and born his portion steers, from plenty's horn is poached with saucy chipmunk lates at husking time. It's sunset, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Tonight the west hour brims with warmest dyes, its chalick overflows with pools of purple coloring the skies, a flood with gold and rose, and somewhat soul seems throwing close to mine, as sinks the sun within that world of wine. I seem to hear above music float and swoon into the west. My ear can scarcely catch a whispered note, but something in my breast that blends with its strain, till both are caught in one, as cloud and color blend at set of sun. And twilight comes with grey and restful eyes, as ashes full of flame. But oh, I heard a voice from those rich skies call tenderly my name. It was as if some priestly finger stole in benediction over my lonely soul. I know not why, but all my being longed and leapt in that sweet call. My heart outstretched its arms, all passion thronged and beat against fate's wards, crying in utter homesickness to be near to a heart that loves and leans to me. Canada, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Crown of her, young Vancouver, crest of her, old Quebec, Atlantic and far Pacific sweeping o'er keel to deck. North of her, ice and Arctis, southward a rival's stealth, aloft her empire's pennant, below a nation's wealth. Daughter of men and markets, being within their hold, a prize at highest value, cargoes of grain and gold. Close by Emily Pauline Johnson. So near at hand our eyes overlooked its nearness in search of distant things, a dear dream lay, perchance to grow in dearness had we but felt its wings astir. We hear our very breathing fend, it was so near at hand. Once many days ago we almost held it, the love we so desired. But our shut eyes saw not, and fate dispelled it before our pulses fired to flame, and errant fortune bade us stand, hand almost touching hand. I sometimes think, had we two been discerning the bypath hid away from others' eyes, had then revealed its turning to us nor led astray, our footsteps guiding us into love's land that lay so near at hand. So near at hand, dear heart, could we have known it. Throughout those dreamy hours had I ever loved, or loving had we shown it. Response had sure been ours. We did not know that heart could heart command, and love so near at hand. What when a veiled red wine's subtle glisten, we passed it blindly by, each for the other's heartbeat. Our cry of love overlooked still lingers, you and I sought heaven afar, we did not understand, 'twas once so near at hand. Day Dawn, by Emily Pauline Johnson. All yesterday the thought of you was resting in my soul, and in sleep wandered over a world that very thought she stole to fill my dreams with splendor such as stars could not eclipse, and in the morn I awakened with your name upon my lips. Awakened, my beloved, to the morning of your eyes, your splendid eyes so full of clouds, wherein the shadow tries to overcome the flame that melts into the world of grey, as coming suns dissolve the dark that veils the edge of day. Cool drifts the air at dawn of day, cool lies the sleeping dew, but all my heart is burning for the woke from dreams of you. And oh, these longing eyes of mine look out and only see a dying night, a waking day, and calm on all but me. So gently creeps the morning through the heavy air, the dawn grey garbed and velvet short is wandering everywhere, to wake the slumber-laden hours that leave their dreamless rest, with outspread laggard wings to haunt the pillars of the west. Up from the north the moisture steals with odours fresh and soft, a smell of moss and grass is warm with dew, and far aloft the stars are growing colourless, while dropping in the west a late one moon is paling in a sky of amethyst. The passing of the shadows, as we waft their pinions near, has stirred a tender wind within the night-hushed atmosphere, that in its homeless wandering sobs in an undertone, and echo to my heart with sobbing calls for you alone. The night is gone, beloved, and another day is set free, another day of hunger for the one I may not see. What care I for the perfect dawn, the blue and empty skies, The night is always mine without the morning of your eyes. Easter by Emily Pauline Johnson. Then give us up a cloak of sombre shading in her reluctant hands. Her beauty heightens fast and is fading as pensively she stands, awaiting Easter's benediction falling like silver stars at night before she can obey the summons calling her to her upward flight, awaiting Easter's wings which she must borrow ere she can hope to fly, those glorious wings which we shall see tomorrow against a far blue sky. As not the purple of her vestures lying brought calm and rest to all, as the dark robe had naught of golden shining been gnawed by pleasure's pall, who knows? Perhaps when to the world returning in youth's light joyousness, we were some rarer jewels we found burning in lent's black water dress. So hand in hand with fitful March she lingers to beg her crowning grace of lifting with pure and holy fingers the veil from April's face. Sweet and rosy April, laughing, sighing, waiting until the gateway swings, and she and land can kiss between the grating of Easter's tissue wings. To breathe the bliss, the parting comes with sorrow. Goodbye, dear land, goodbye. We'll watch your fading wings outline tomorrow against the far blue sky. Fireflowers by Emily Pauline Johnson. And only where the forest fires have sped, scorching relentlessly the cool north lands, a sweet white flower lifts its purple head, and like some gentle spirit so fed, it hides the scars of almost human hands. And only to the heart that knows of grief, of desolating fire, of human pain, there comes some purifying sweet belief, some fellow feeling, beautiful if brief, and life revives and blossoms once again. Goodbye by Emily Pauline Johnson. Sounds of the seas grow fainter, sounds of the sands have sped. With sweep of gales, the far white sails are silent, spent and dead. Sounds of the days of summer murmur and die away, and distance heights, the long loud heights, as night shuts out the day. Guard of the Eastern Gate by Emily Pauline Johnson. Halifax sits on the hills by the sea in the might of her pride. Invincible, terrible, beautiful, she with a sword at her side. To right and to left of her battlements rear and fortresses throne, but she sits on a throne without favour or fear with a cannon's crown. Coast guard and sentinel watch over the wheel of a nation she keeps, but her hand is encased in a gauntlet of steel and the thunder but sleeps. Harvest Time by Emily Pauline Johnson. Pillowed and hushed on the silent plain, wrapped in a mantle of golden grain, buried of pleasuring weeks away, summer is lying asleep today. Her winds come sweet from the wild rose briars and the smoke of a far-off prairie fires. Yellow her hair as the golden rod, and brown her cheeks as the prairie sod. Purple eyes as the mists that dream at the edge of some laggard sun-drowned stream. But over the depths the lashes sweep, for summer is lying today asleep. The northern kisses her rosy mouth as the rival thrones in the far off south, and comes caressing a sunburnt cheek, and summer awakes for one short week, awakes and gathers a wealth of grain, and sleeps and dreams for a year again. In Grey Days by Emily Pauline Johnson. Measures of oil for others, oil and red wine, lips laugh and drink, but never are the lips mine. Worlds at the feet of others, power gods have known, hearts that were favored round me, mine beats alone. Fame offering to others, chaplets of bass, I with no crown of laurels, only great days. Sweet human love for others, deep as the sea, God sent unto my neighbour, but not to me. Sometimes I wrest from others more than all wis, I shall demand from heaven far sweeter bliss. What profit when to others laughter and wine? I'll have what most they covet, death will be mine. In the Shadows by Emily Pauline Johnson. I'm sailing to the leeward where the current runs to seaward, soft and slow, where the sleeping river grasses brush my paddle as it passes to and fro. On the shore the heat is shaking, all the golden sands are waking in the cove, and the quaint sandpiper winging, all the shallows cheeses singing when I move. On the water's idle pillow sleeps the overhanging willow, green and cool, where the rushes lift their burnished oval heads from out the tarnished emerald pool. Where the very silent slumbers water lilies grow in numbers pure and pale, all the morning they have rested, amber-crowned and pearly-crested, fair and frail. Here impossible romances, indefinable sweet fancies cluster round, but they do not mar the sweetness of a still September fleetness with a sound. I can scarce discern the meeting of a shorn stream retreating, so remote, for the laggard river dozing only wakes from its reposing where afloat. The river mists are rising, all the foliage baptizing with their spray, where the sunbeams fan faintly, with a shadow soft and saintly in its ray. And the perfume of some burning, far-off brushwood ever turning to exhale, all its smoky fragrance dying in the arms of evening lying where I sail. My canoe is growing lazy in the atmosphere so hazy, while I dream, half in slumber I am guiding, eastward indistinctly gliding down the stream. Moonset by Emily Pauline Johnson. Aisles the night wind through the dreaming fires, with waking murmur low, as some lost melody returning stirs the laugh of long ago. And through the far cool distance a fire fanned, the moon is sinking into shadowland. The troubled night-bird, calling plaintively, wanders on restless wing. The sad-eyed chanting whisper to the sea awaits its answering. It comes in a wash of waves along the strand, while the moon slips into shadowland. O soft responsive voices of the night that join your minstrelsy, and call across the fading silver light as something calls to me. I may not all your meaning understand, but I have touched your soul in shadowland. My English Letter by Emily Pauline Johnson. When each white moon or lantern idol swinging comes out to join the star-night watching band, across the grey-green sea a ship is bringing from your letter from the motherland. Nor would I care to live in quaint old Britain, these wilder shores are dear far to me, yet when I read the words that hand has written, the parents of my precious seems to be. Within that folded note I catch the savour of climes that make my motherland so fair, although I never knew the blessed favour that surely lies in breathing English air. Imaginations brush before me fleeing, paints English pictures, while my longing eyes have never known the blessedness of seeing the blue that lines the arc of English skies. And yet my letter brings the scenes I covet, framed in the salt sea winds. I more in dreams, I almost see the face that bent above it, almost touch that hand so near it seems. Near for the very grey-green sea that dashes round these Canadian coasts, rolls out once more to eastward, and the same Atlantic splashes here wild white sprays on England's distant shore. Near for the same young moon, so idle swinging, her thread-like crescent bends the self-same smile, on that old land from whence the ship is bringing my message from the transatlantic isle. Thus loves my heart that foul country better, because of those dear words that always come, with love enfolded in each English letter that drifts into my sun-kissed western home. Overlooked by Emily Pauline Johnson. Sleep with a tender balm, a touch so kind has passed me by. Afar I see a vesture, though that line floats silently. O sleep, my tired eyes had need of thee. Is thy sweet kiss not meant to-night for me? Peace with the blessings that I longed for so has passed me by. Where'er she folds her holy wings I know all tempests die. O peace, my tired soul had need of thee. Is thy sweet kiss denied alone to me? Love with her heated touches, passion stirred, has passed me by. I called, "Oh, stay thy flight," but all unheard my lonely cry. Oh, love, my tired heart had need of thee. Is thy sweet kiss withheld alone for me? Sleep, sister twin of peace, my waking eyes so weary grew. Oh, love, a wanderer from paradise, dost thou not know how oft my lonely heart has cried to thee? But woe in sleep and peace come not to me. Rainfall by Emily Pauline Johnson. From out the west, where darkling storm clouds float, the waking wind pipes soft its rising note. From out the west o'erhangs the fringes grey, the wind preludes with sighs its roundelay. And blowing, singing, piping, laughing aloud, it scurries on before the grey storm cloud. Across the hollow and along the hill it whips and whirls among the maples, till the boards are bent and green of leaves blown white, the silver shines upon their underside, a gusty freshening of humid air with showers laden and the fragrance rare. And now let it sprinkle with a dash of great cool drops that fall with sudden splash, and over fields and hollow grass and grain the loud crisp whiteness of a nearing rain. Shadow River by Emily Pauline Johnson. A stream of tender gladness, a filmy sun and opal-tinted skies, a warm midsummer air that lightly lies in music rings, where softly swings the music of thousand wings that almost tones to sadness. Midway twixt earth and heaven, a bubble in the pearly air, I seem to float upon the sapphire floor, a dream of clouds of snow. Above, below, drift with me drifting, dim and slow, as twilight drifts to eve. The little fern leaf, bending upon the berg, its green reflection greets, and kisses soft the shadow that it meets. With touches so fine, the borderline, the keenest vision can't define, so perfect is the blending. The far fire trees that cover the brownish hills with needles green and gold, the arching elms overhead, vine-grown and old, repictured are beneath me far, where not a ripple moves to mar shades underneath or over. Mine is the undertone, the beauty, strength, and power of the land, will never stir or bend at my command. But all the shade is marred or made, if I but dip my paddle blade, and it is mine alone. O pathless word of seeming, O pathless life of mine, whose deep ideal is more my own than ever was the real. For others' fame and love's red flame, and yellow gold, I only claim the shadows and the dreaming. The Birds Lullaby by Emily Pauline Johnson. Sing to us, said us, the twilight is creeping with shadowy garments, the wilderness through. All day we have carolled, and now would be sleeping. So echo the anthems we warble to you, while we swing, swing, and your branches sing, and we drowse to your dreamy whispering. Sing to us, said us, the night wind is sighing, is wooing, is pleading to hear you reply. And here in your arms we are restfully lying, and longing to dream to your soft lullaby. While we swing, swing, and your branches sing, and we drowse to your dreamy whispering. Sing to us, said us, your voice is so lonely, your breathing so fragrant, your branches so strong. Our little nest cradles are swaying so slowly, the fires are breathing their slumberous song. And we swing, swing, while your branches sing, and we drowse to your dreamy whispering. The Cattle Country by Emily Pauline Johnson. Of the dusk and folded prairie, footfalls soft and sly, velvet cushioned, white and wowy, when the cagots cry. A rush of hoofs and roar and rattle, beasts of blood and breed, 20,000 frightened cattle, and a wild stampede. Pliant lesser circling wide and a frenzied flight, looping horse and cursing rider plunging through the night. Rim of dawn, the darkness losing, trail of blackened soil, perfume of sagebrush oozing on the air like oil. Foothills to the Rockies lifting, brown and blue and green, warm Alberta sunlight drifting over leagues between. That's a country of a ranges, plain and prairie land, and the God who never changes holds it in his hand. The City and the Sea by Emily Pauline Johnson. To none the city bends a severe knee, purse-proud and scornful on a height she stands, and at her feet a great white moaning sea shoulders incessantly the grey gold sands. One the Almighty's child since time began, and one the might of Mammon, born of clods. For all the city is the work of man, but all the sea is God's. And she between the ocean and the town lies cursed of one, and by the other blessed. Her staring eyes, her long drenched hair, her gown seal-leafed and soiled and dank above her breast. She, image of a god since life began, she but a child of Mammon, born of clods, a broken body spoiled and spurned of man, but a sweet soulless God's. The Flight of the Crows by Emily Pauline Johnson. The autumn afternoon is dying over a quiet western valley where I lie beneath the maples on the river shore, where tinted leaves, blue waters, and fair sky environ all, and far above some birds are flying by to seek their evening haven in the breast and calm embrace of silence, where they sing to dreams to the night, invoking rest for busy chirping voice and tired wing, and in the hush of sleeping trees their sleeping cradles swing. And forced arms the night will soonest creep, where sombre pines a lullaby intone, where nature's children call themselves to sleep, and all is still at last, save where alone a band of black belated crows arrive from lands unknown. Strange sojourn has been there since waking day, strange sights and cities in the wandering blend, with fields of yellow mesa and leagues away with rivers where the sweeping waters went, past velvet banks to rocky shores, in canyons bold to end. Over what vast lakes that stretch supervile dead, till lashed to life by storm clouds have they flown, and what wild lands in laggard flight have fled the aerial career unseen, unknown, till now with twilight come their cries in lonely monotone? The flapping of opinions in the air dies in the hush of distance, while the life within the fire-tops, grimly black and bare, that stand with giant strength and peerless height to shelter fair birds and beasts throughout the closing night. Strange black and princely pirates of the skies, would that your wind-tossed travels I could know, would that my soul could see, and, seeing, rise to unrestricted life, where ebb and flow of nature's pulse would constitute a wider life below. Could I but live just here in freedom's arms, a kindly life without a sorrow and care. Vain dreams, their heights with closing wings the charms, and all is cradled in repose, says where yon band of black belated crows still frets the evening air. The Lifting of the Mist by Emily Pauline Johnson. All the long day the vapors played a blindfold in the city streets, their elfin fingers caught and stay the sunbeams as they wound the sheets into a filmy barricade, twixt earth and where the sunlight beats. A vagrant band of mischiefs wheeze, with wings of grey and cobweb gown, they live along the edge of season, creeping out on foot of dawn. They chase and frolic, frisk and tease at blind men's buff of all the town. And when at eventide the sun breaks with a glory through the grey, the vapour fairies, one by one, outspread their wings and float away in clouds of colouring, that run wine-like along the rim of day. Afford the beauty in the breast of purpling airs, they twirl and twist, and float away to some far rest, leaving the skies all coloured kissed, and glorious in the golden west that greets the lifting of a mist. The Sleeping Giant by Emily Pauline Johnson. When yet you sink to your dreamless sleep out where in your thunder bed, where the tempests sweep and the waters leap and the storm rage overhead, Were you lying where on your couch alone, Egypt and Rome were born? Where the age of stone of the world had known the man with a crown or throne? The wind screeched down from the open west, and the thunders beat and break, and the amethyst of your rugged breast, but you never rise or wake. You have locked your past, and you keep the key in your heart, neath the westing sun, where the mighty sea and its shores will be storm-swept till the world is done. The song my paddle sings, by Emily Pauline Johnson. West wind, blow from your prairie nest, blow from the mountains, blow from the west. The sailor's idle, the sailor too. O wind of the west, we wait for you. Blow, blow. I've wooed you so, but never favour you bestow. You rock or cradle the hills between, but scorn to notice my white lateen. I stow the sail, unship the mast. I wooed you long, but my wooing's past. My paddle will lull you into rest. O drowsy wind of a drowsy west, sleep, sleep. But your mountains steep are down where the prairie grasses sweep. Now fold in slumber your laggard wings, for soft is the song my paddle sings. August is laughing across the sky, laughing while paddle, canoe, and I drift, drift, where the hills uplift on either side of a current swift. The river rolls in its rocky bed, my paddle is lying its way ahead. Dip, dip, where the waters flip, and foam is over the breast we slip. And oh, the river runs swifter now, the eddies circle about my bow, swirl, swirl. Our ripples curl in many a dangerous pool awhirl. And forward far the rapids roar, fretting their margin for evermore. Dash, dash, with a mighty crash, they seethe and boil, and bound and splash. Be strong, O paddle, be brave, canoe, the reckless waves you must plunge into. Reel, reel on your trembling heel, but never fear my craft will fear. We've raced the rapid, we're far ahead, the river slips through its silent bed. Sway, sway, as the bubbles spray, and fall in tinkling tunes away. And up on the hills, against the sky, a fire tree rocking its lullaby. Swings, swings its emerald wings, swelling the song that my paddle sings. The Trained Dogs, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Out of the night and the north, savage of breed and of bone, shaggy and swift comes a yelping band, frighters of hue from the voiceless land that sleeps in the Arctic zone. Laden with skins from the north, beaver and bee and raccoon, marten and mink from the polar belts, otter and ermine and sable pelts, the spoils of a hunter's moon. Out of the night and the north, sinew, fearless and fleet, urging the pack through the pathless snow, the Indian driver, calling low, follows with moccasined feet. Ships of the night and the north, freighters on prairies and plains, carrying cows for field and flood, they scan the trail through the wild red blood, a wolfish blood in the veins. The Wolf, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Like grey shadow lurking in the night, he ventures forth along the edge of night. With silent foot he scouts the coolier's rim and scans the carrion awaiting him. His savage eyeballs lurid with a flare, seem but an unfed beast that leave their lair to wrangle with their fellows for a meal of bones ill-covered. Sets he forth to steal, to search and snarl and forage hungrily. The worthless prairie vagabond is he, luckless the settler's hiver, which astray falls to his fangs and violence a prey. Useless, her blade hand calling, when his teeth are fast upon her quivering flank. Then this fell raucosity she falls and dies, with inarticulate and piteous cries, unheard, unheeded in the barren waste, to be devoured with savage greed and haste. Up the horizon once again he prowls, and far across his desolation howls. Sneaking and satisfied his lair he gains, and leaves her bones to bleach upon the plains. Through Time and Bitter Distance, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Unknown to you I walk the cheerless shore, the cutting blast, the hurl of biting brine may freeze, and still and bind the waves at war, ere you will ever know, O heart of mine, that I have sought, reflected in the blue of these sea depths, some shadow of your eyes. Have hoped the laughing waves would sing of you, but this is all my starving sight decries. Far out at sea a sail bends to the freshening breeze, yields to the rising gale that sweeps the seas. Yields as a bird wind-tossed to saltish waves that flinch, their spray whose rime and frost like crystals clinch. To canvas, mast and spar, till gleaming like a gem, she sinks beyond the far horizon's hem. Lost to my longing sight and nothing left to me, save an oncoming night and empty sea. Your Mirror Frame, by Emily Pauline Johnson. Methinks I see your mirror frame ornate with photographs of whim. Place mine wherein, for all the same, I'll have my little laughs at whim. For girls may come and girls may go, I think I have the best of whim. And yet this photograph I know you'll toss among the rest of whim. I cannot even hope that you will put me in your locket, dear. Your costly frame will I look through, nor bite at your breast pocket, dear. For none your heart monopolize, your favour such as nest of whim. So I but hope your roving eyes seek mine among the rest of whim. For saucy spirit and noble dame, and many a dainty maid of whim, will greet me in your mirror frame and share your kisses light on whim. And yet sometimes I fancy, dear, you hold me as the best of whim, so I'm content if I appear tonight with all the rest of whim.